change. Today we're going to be showing you how to glue up one of the faster drag slot cars that we offer on our website. It is the Top Sportsman with quad Gr.20 motor. We use several different combinations of manufacturers to create this car. It is a hybrid of the DRS-94 Firebird. For the chassis, we're using the WRP Pro Sidewinder kit. The motor, we're using the Pro Slot, DragMaster quad with a Gr.20 armature in it, 48 degree, Sonic gears, and ProTrack tires. And we'll show you how fast and how to glue up this guy. Now first what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch, and basically we're going to use some common fuel. Some people use lighter fluid, and start from scratch and clean everything on the track to show you how to glue this guy up from scratch. Now the next important thing is what type glue. So as we're running 300 wide tires, which are the narrowest tire, you want to use a heavy glue, so we went right for the Cayman Stick-It Brown. You can use Champion Heavy, Tire Bite Heavy, or you can use the really heavy, if you're having a lot of trouble holding it down, is the Coford Heavy. First of all, we start with a clean slate. I'm going to get that glue down. You can see how thick that is. You have to really snap it down to get it to come to the top there if you're about half full. You put, this is going to be your reservoir, and we're going to use it like a palette, like a artist palette. This is where your main paint is. This is going to be your glue, of course. We're going to roll this out like a paint roller. Your tires are going to be the roller rolling it out onto your palette. And as you can see, it gets lighter and lighter down here. That's in case you just want just a little bit of glue. And we're going to load this up because this motor is extremely powerful. Very heavy amount. And we're going to do that a couple of times. Now we happen to have a rollout button on this drag controller. So we flip the button. You could do that on the Falco and the other electronic controllers. Squeeze it just a little bit and it rolls out a perfect roll. See, you could do it by hand, but a lot of times your arm will arc like this here. So you have to be really careful and keep that so it doesn't move. See how it moves? A little bit there. So I like to do it with the controller to get a perfect roll. We're going to roll it out. This is about 4 feet. You may have to roll it out further depending on the power of your track. Again, we're putting on a generous amount here at first. You can see it really heavy on the tires. Now if you're not sure, you could always just take a burst. I'm going to put a little more on. I'm going to set it right on the line. Take a quick burst. Now you can see that it was spinning. You could even hear it. Now it started spinning. See if we get just in the right light, you could really see it. You can see the high points on the left side. See where it takes off? Then it starts hopping. So we stopped almost halfway down the track. Now, if this is too much, if you just it just won't hold down, go with 400 tires. 400 wide, 435 wide tires. Roll it out. This is going to clean up where we just bounced all over. Cleans up the high points. And we'll put on another heavy amount. With the air gap on these motors being so tight, and the can setup very small, there's not like a big old gap there, it keeps the magnetism very powerful, and it's a very tight air gap, so it has a lot of bottom end, basically what it comes down to. Roll this out one more time. We'll lay it on. What you don't want to do is just run it that way, because you could bust tires loose from the rims. You can the pieces inside here. If you just freewheel it all the way down here, bouncing, you could chip gears. You could chip magnets. There's a number of different things. You can fly the armature wire, all sorts of stuff. So you're better off having it bogged than. And if you do hear it hopping, just get off of it. So you're better off having it bogged than just freewheeling. Okay, we're going to take a quick burst here, see if that will hold it for us. We'll get this a little higher. Let's see if that works now. See the difference? You didn't hear the screaming and the bouncing. Let's take a look. We get right in the exact path here in the light. As you can see, that looks a whole lot different. You can see the heavy amount of glue that we have to put down for that guy, and how clean the burnout is. There's no high points, and it's stuck really well. Alright, let's take a run. Okay, that sounded really clean. Let's see what we ran. Okay, buy round complete. Reaction time 6:15 elapsed time at 48 miles an hour. That's not bad for only 12 volts. Okay, we're going to try another run. Now the thing I like to do, especially if you've been sitting around a little while, you want to fluff up the glue by just running over the track area. And then we're going to add a good generous amount of glue. What we do is go right up into the reservoir where the glue is, grab it, and if you just want a little bit, it's down here, and you just roll your tires there. So we got our generous amount of glue, and we're just going to set it right on the line since we have all our glue down, and make another run. Okay, sounding like a nice clean run. Let's see what kind of times we did. .613 elapsed time. 49 miles an hour. Okay, let's take a look at the glue. Heavy off the line. I'm going to roll down the strip, and you can see everything is perfect. There's no hops, just a clean track, and that's what you're looking for all the way down. Okay, so we're back in the pits, and we put a yardstick out there. This is how far we're rolling it, so you can see actually in footage. Here's the start line. I'm going to start a little way back, drag the glue out, fluff it up. That's about a foot past the line, about 4 feet. Now, if you're hopping after you leave this area, you could actually start gluing from this point. Put about a medium amount. We don't need any here, but you will put a medium amount of glue. Grab it from down here. I'm just going to put a light glue because that will bog us. And then if you want to thin your tires out, let me show you what we have here. So we got a little bit too much there for our purpose. So if you want to thin it out, you could go off to the side, like so. Off to the other side if that ain't doing it. And you can see now that the glue's a lot less. So if you do need it and you want to put a heavy amount and you're hopping after this area, then you could start gluing where it thins out. This one is pretty heavy to about here, as you saw in the camera. And if you want to glue it and add more glue and drag it out a little further, start there. Don't put a glob there because it will hit it and then bog down. So you could either start about here or here, wherever you want to drag it out to, and drag it another 3 feet. So this here, we'll put our hand here. We'll measure out how far we did. This is about another, it's about another 2.5 feet out to here. So if you're hopping after you leave that area, also we have a little back wing here. You can fold that up. In case you have a couple little bumps in the track, you see any hop after it hits about 2/3 of the way down the track, usually about 40 miles an hour, will start hopping on the back end, especially if you have any imperfections on the track. Okay, we're going to glue it up one more time. Just a nice generous amount of glue. Like I said, this is very powerful on the bottom end, and especially with the 300 wide tires, and also if you have 16 volts. And if this won't do it, and the Coford glue, Coford Heavy, won't do it, put 400 wide tires on there. See, we got the amount of glue. We're just going to set it without rolling it out right on the line, and we'll take another run. Okay, that sounded like a real clean run. About 48 miles an hour. Reaction time. And a 625, not too bad actually. 619, 611, somewhere in that area is what we're looking for. Let's take a look at the glue track area. Here's our heaviest part there. And as we go out, everything looks really nice and clean. So whatever is for your track, that is what you'll have to glue for. And hopefully that's helped you get an idea how to glue a very powerful drag car.
Time keeps going.